Okay. So, hello everyone. I am Diksha Sharma here. In the following days, we would be doing Python and by Python. And today is the as this is the demo class, we are going to go through the basics of the Python, and it is going to be a simple and an easy session, as well as it is going to be interesting for you also to learn the simple functions in Python. Uh, Python is a high level language, and it is, we can say, the simplest language which we can code. If you all have any prior experience in programming languages, um, first of all, I would like to ask if anybody has experience with in programming languages.
Yeah, hi Diksha, this is Partha. Yeah, I do have some experience.
What programming languages do you have in experience with?
I have done programming in C, C++, and kind of even Python and R also. I have done some programming.
Okay. So you are into bioinformatics field only, right?
Yeah, this is new to me, but I was in different field, but
Okay.
new to bioinformatics.
Okay. And Swati Gupta says no, and Hindu says R programming. Okay. So, if when you start programming using Python, you'll come to know that this is the easiest version of for coding, because it has the commands which are easy to understand and which are effective to perform. The version which we are going to follow in Python is 3.5, and the latest version right now is 3.7. So 3.5 will have a glimpse of that, but we will basically follow 3.7, which is the latest version of Python. Python does not have any compiler. I would like to state this. And Python language, which we can basically use for data analysis, like the structured as well as the structured data. So in a simple and easy way, if hello.
Yeah, yeah, Diksha, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. So, I would like to make this session interactive. So, I would like to ask you all if you have if you know what are structured and unstructured data. Anybody? Okay, so we'll go with this. So, I in the easiest way, I would say structured data are something for example, Excel sheets, or we can say CSV files. CSV files are common separated files. So in Excel, we can see that the data which we store in Excel files are uh, maintained properly because of the columns, and yeah, structured is the organized data, right? So in the Excel file which we can see, we have rows and columns, and we put the data and store the data in these columns only. So it is easy for us to understand. But there are files, for example, BAM file, bed file, SAM file. These are the files which stores the data without any uh, columns, or without having separating the data which are stored in the file. So Python, we can use Python for both data, structured data as well as unstructured data. But basically Python is best suited for unstructured data. I hope I'm making my point. Okay, great.
Can you just give us some examples of unstructured data? I mean, like which, not just file names, but anything
Okay,
like,
okay, okay. Then I would like share the screen, and then I can show you the files how they look like. I hope my screen is visible. Okay, so this is the example of bed files. Basically, bed file contains like we have several like we have the chromosomes, and whenever we want to like know the position and what type of gene is present, we store it in bed files. So you can see here, this is the example of bed file, and this is also the example of bed file. So what happens in unstructured data, the data is just fed like in a single row, and then the row or the column ends, and then the next line is started. So it does not have any like bifurcation, which we can say, or they are not separated in a proper way. So this is like hard to like fetch the data, because in Excel we can like know that in this cell we have this data stored and we can find that. But in unstructured data we do not have any rows or column mentioned, we just have a single line and the data stored like in a single flow.
okay, so that means even if some data is there in notepad file, that's also unstructured.
Yeah, right, absolutely right. So um, yeah, you just like the notepad file, which I would like copy this, and I'll show you an example also with this. Okay.
Are you still sharing your screen? We actually, I'm not able to see the screen.
Yeah, I am sharing the screen. Is my screen visible now?
No, not for me. I'm not sure.
Okay, okay. Now I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the BAM file. BAM file, whenever we are performing next generation sequencing and like doing analysis of the genomes and genes, we get BAM files. So this is the like this is the image which we get, or this is the file which we get. So if we want to like locate which nucleotide is present at the position, at this position, from this range to this range, we want to find out, we can use Python to fetch the data. Like we say now, we analyze like genome and gene, so they are like performed using Python language, because Python is easy to understand, and the commands which we will follow in Python are like easy. For example, if you know the R programming, someone said that she knows R programming. Yeah. So if we perform R programming or anything, the codes are not human readable or understood by a normal person. But when you will follow with Python, you will understand that Python has the codes which are easy to understand. For example, if you want to add or if you want to insert something, you can like we will be coding it using that operator only, like just writing that and fetching the details and adding, inserting. Right now what I am planning is, we are going to like we should start with the basic print function in Python, and for this class we'll like complete the print function.
Uh, yeah, so Diksha, I would suggest one thing, that you can just give an overview regarding what you would cover in this
Okay.
bioinformatics using the programming languages and what you will cover,
Okay.
what will be the structure. So that would
Okay.
also be useful. Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, so as I told that we are going to like work with Python 3.7, and with that we will like firstly we'll start with the print function, which is the basic. So if anybody do not have like prior programming experience or anything, he she will be able to like learn the basic functions. And if you learn Python, you can like perform several tasks, because if like you know the C and C++, you will find this the easiest language which you will work upon, and you will enjoy this. So in Python, we'll first start with the print function, and like how we program in Python, what wrapper we are going to use. So I would tell wrapper, uh, Anaconda Navigator is there. So we are going to use Anaconda Navigator. We'll install that into our systems, and then we are going to run Python in Jupyter Notebook in Anaconda Navigator. Uh, After installation and everything, we are going to use learn how we are using the Python interpreter, like then argument passing, interactive mode, hello world is the basic and the simplest command which we are going to learn to give the commands to Python to understand what we want the output for. Then we will learn data types, which are like numbers, characters. Then there are four data structures in Python. So they are list, tuple, dictionary, single valued variable. We'll go with this thoroughly, and we'll understand if like how we can use individual data structures to imply some specific codes. After that, we are going to do conditions and expressions, following with while loop usage, then for loop usage, inbuilt functions, and defining a function. Python 3.7 has 67 to 75 inbuilt functions, so we do not have to like install that, but we will learn how to write the script and building the body structure. We'll learn multiple strings, scripts integration, file handling, like I said, BAM file, bed file. So how we can load these file in Python, and if we are like asked to read and fetch the data from BAM file, how we can use that, how we can work with that BAM file. We will learn that. We'll learn the reading, writing, and deleting files using Python. We'll learn reading data from FASTA files, FAA file, TXT, XLSX, CSV, BAM, BED, all the files. Then we'll learn data calculation and manipulation, PIP, and external module installation. This was the whole course for Python. If we follow with module 2, which is the BioPython, we'll learn how we can work with biological sequences. If we want to like do the genome analysis and gene analysis, want to know which chromosome has the disease or the defect, we can learn through BioPython. So BioPython is basically for like people who are who are bioinformatician and who want to like work with genes. So biopython is for those. So we will learn how to parse files and several file formats. Like in Python we will learn how to open the files, different files, but in biopython we'll learn how we can parse these file formats and like fetch the details. We'll learn like retrieving data from biological databases. You must have heard about XPC, Entrace, NCBI, PubMed. So we will learn how we can like fetch the data directly from the database into Python. We'll learn sequence annotation as well. We'll learn primer and probe designing for PCR and microarray chip application. And after that, the custom bioinformatics, like what we want to like get from the whatever parsing we have done for with the biological file formats. So this is going to be the course for BioPython. Hello. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. You were supposed to like demonstrate. So,
Yeah. Okay. I thought the. Okay. So
mm.
for today we the print function which I was talking about will work with print function. Will try to code with print function and how we can use that function. So I'll share my screen, explain you what is Anaconda Navigator, how we will run Jupyter Notebook, and everything.
So do they need to download anything right now?
Uh, Ma'am, downloading I think would take like time because Anaconda is like big and we'll have to do the setup.
Okay.
So whatever you say.
No. I mean, they can do this at home also. They can practice it. Right
Okay,
now,
okay, okay.
we
Yeah.
can tell
So
them what they
I'll
need to do, and demonstrate. Then they can do this at home.
okay, okay, okay. So for installation, you can search in Anaconda Navigator download for Windows 10 if you are using Windows. In that, you will see www.anaconda.com individual edition Anaconda. We'll open this. Okay, it is taking some time. I'll let it load. Uh, I have this installed in my system. So this is the environment of Anaconda Navigator. Here we can see several platforms which we can use to code. So here we can see R Studio, which we can use for R programming, Jupyter Lab, which we can use for machine learning. So right now we want to work with Jupyter Notebook. So this is already pre-installed in the Anaconda Navigator. We just have to launch this. Okay. So as soon we launch this, this is the environment which is going to get open. From here, you have to click New and Python 3. So this is the Python environment which we are going to use. This is the cell where we are going to input the commands or the like. We are going to input the command here. We can add these cells with this insert cell below. Whatever command we will run, we can use this run to get the output, or we can use control plus enter to run the output. I hope I'm able to make my point. If you have any doubts, please ask me because I cannot now see the chat window here. So whatever doubts you are having, please unmute yourself and then you can just say. So right now we are going to work with print function. As I've been saying print for so long, so print is basically a built-in function. It prints and outputs any specified message which we give to the screen, and we get the output in the console window or the output box. So this is the print of function. Whenever we write print, in these round brackets we'll write our comment. For example, you can notice within these round bracket I've written hello world. I've inserted this hello world into quotation. This is the reason because we want to character like whenever we insert any character, or we want the we type the character, we have to every time insert that character in the inverted quotation colons or quotations. After writing this, we want to print. So can anyone predict what can be the result of this code? Anyone? Okay. So I have written print, then brackets. In the brackets, I have written hello world. Now we are going to run the command. Whenever we give the input to the print, it shows the output. Print has three effects. First is it takes the argument. This is the argument which we have given to print. Second, it converts them into human readable form if needed. Strings are exceptional. This is a string. Character, this is a character, it is a string. So see, what I said in the second point, it converts them into human readable form. For example, there is some binary numbers that I'm writing. We cannot easily understand what is written 10111. But the computer understands, and it gives us the output that is readable. This is human readable. But whenever we give some input which is not human readable, print converts them into human readable form. Third is it sends the data to the output device. As we can see, this is the output. So print gives us the output of whatever input we ask to give them out. Now, what arguments does print expect? As I said, Python has four data structures. First is single value variable. Second is list. Third is tuple. Fourth is dictionary. These are the data structures. So single value variable takes only single value to any variable which we give. For example, if I have x and then I want that x should have many values, but we cannot store many values in a single value variable. Or we will just skip this topic for now. We'll just follow with print function. I just wrote this because Python takes all these arguments. For example, it can operate with virtually all types of data. For example, strings, which is the characters, number, logical values, and objects. Does anybody have any confusion? Please, you can ask me. If I'm not able to put my point, please tell me. Okay, I'll write one more code. Suppose I like dogs. Now, please, can anyone reply me what is going to be the output of this? Let's have some interactive session, please.
And yeah, Anna is saying the answer is
Sorry?
Anna is saying the answer is I like dogs.
Okay, right. Absolutely right. So after printing this in print, we can get the output which is I like dogs. So whatever we'll input print, it is going to like output the most easiest and the most readable form. Now we can have yeah, okay. We'll run print in a different way now. Let's see if somebody can guess. I'm writing I like dogs and I hate cats. Anybody predict the answer?
Anna is saying, I like
Yeah.
dogs, I hate cats,
Okay.
without
Nice
any
try.
insult. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll see what the output comes. We'll run the code now. Now, see, the output was correct. Whatever we gave the input, we got the output. But if you can notice, there is one gap here between I like dogs and I hate cats. The reason is we have given an print and then the only the round brackets. So we call this empty because we have not delivered any arguments to the function. As we can see, the print function or the empty print here is not as empty as we expected. It does output an empty line. Whatever we gave the input, it has given us the output that way. So we did not put any value to this, so it gave us the empty line here. Or we can say the output is just a new line. So this is the new line which we got. We have other ways also to have a new line. So let's try with that as well. So for example, I'm just copying this code and I'll just paste this, removing this. Now see, I have written here I like dogs, I like cats. But if I want the I hate cats into a new line, Python has this feature which is the backslash and n. So here n stands for new line. If we want that this I had I hate cats should come in the new line, we can write backslash and n. Let's see what happens. So we got I like dogs and I hate cats. Here is one space. I'll just backspace space that, and we can see I had I hate cats is in the new line. Understood, everybody?
Yeah. And Anna also gave the right answer, I think. She
Okay,
wrote
okay,
that her microphone is not working.
okay.
She wrote
But
it
and I
backslash.
myself can't see the like chats
Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
okay,
No
okay.
problem. So it's good that they are a little bit, acquainted with this, and now how to imply this in bioinformatics that they can learn.
Sorry, ma'am.
I said that it's good that some of them are acquainted with the Python.
Okay.
It would be yeah, better to understand.
So should I continue?
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, okay. Yeah.
So one question is there from Anna. She wrote how to take print input from user.
Print input from user. I did not get your question, Anna.
Okay. So you can proceed. In the meantime, she can write on the chat
Okay,
box.
okay. Yeah, yeah. Okay. So next topic which we are going to explore is positional way of passing arguments. Before writing this, I have like used this hash. Whenever you insert any hash, like you want to make some comment, like whenever you're coding and you want that I should remember this code, or you have some specific tasks related to that, so you can use this hash and you can write whatever you like want to give the information, or you want to store that. Python will not take the comment whenever you put a hash in front of that. Okay, so this is used to put any comment before like for a specific code. So for example, I like dogs and I like cats, so I feel that this code is important, for example, so I would store as important code. Now, when we'll run this again, Python is not going to take important code as a command because we have inserted a hash. Likewise, I've written here positional way of passing comments, arguments. So this is like a new topic, and this is not a vast topic. It is the basic of like how Python takes its commands. So for this, I will write a comment. My name is Python. Print of Sharma. Okay, so we'll now print this, and I think till now everyone would be able to guess what would be the output of this. So let's see. The answer is first print output, which is my name is Python, and the second output, which is Sharma. So this is the most common way of passing the arguments in Python, which is the positional way, which means the second argument will be outputted after the first. As we can like understand with the name itself, positional way of passing arguments, meaning whatever the position of the argument will be, it is going to like parse the output after that. For example, this is the first comment and this is the second comment. So it is like very understandable that the first comment is going to be outputted first and the second comment consecutively, and third, and then so on. So this is the positional way of passing arguments. Now what if we are not like if you don't want that the second should come first and then first should come like at the last? We are going to explore this later on. This was the positional way of passing arguments. I will now explain how we can like shuffle them and like get the outputs according to us. Before that, we'll do keyword argument. Now, we are not going to discuss this in depth right now. We'll discuss it when we talk about functions. So functions, if I specifically say functions is functions we can use. Like for example, you get a genome file, and whatever you want to fetch, you'll have to like any which ways form a code of yourself. You'll have to form a command which will specifically work on that file and then fetch that position of the gene or the genome. So you'll have to like create a command specific to your like data type or data need. So functions is a tool which we can use to create the specific like functions which we want for a specific task. Right now, we are going to follow with keyword arguments. As the name says, it is the fact that the like how I should like write. First, write a code print of my name is Python. Full stop. Right now, the keyword argument which we are going to follow is end. As the name suggests from the fact, the meaning of these arguments is taken not from its location or position, but from the special words, which is the keyword, which we are going to use to identify them. Okay, so print function has basically two keyword arguments, which we can use for like our specific purposes. The first of them is the end, which we are going to do right now. We are going to use end function in this and see what the outputs come. Okay, so I have written here print of my name is Python then I've inserted a comma, a space, end function which we have just talked about, equal sign and quotation with a space. After that, I'm going to write print of, let's write Java. Okay. Has anybody used this end argument before? I think this might be this might be new to you all. So let's see. Let's run this code and see what the output comes. Right now, just we learned how Python takes its input, takes the arguments and outputs it. We just now learned that there is going to be the first output and then the second one. When we'll use end, we can shuffle that up. For example, while using end, Python is going to take this as a single string and it is going to give us the answer in a single line. We want that we are like executing different commands, but we want that it should come in a single line because I want it in a string or in a sentence. So we can use this end function here to get the output in a single line. If the space you can see here, okay, I'll copy this code and run this again. If you can notice, I have put one space in this quotation, in between this quotation. I'll just cancel this space out. Should I ask you guys if you can tell me what can be the answer of this? It's easy now. You can predict the answer now. Anyone, please.
I think it will print the same line without space between dot and Java.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. So this end we gave here a space. So we can see after this full stop, it has given us the space. Now we have erased the spacing here. Now we'll run this code. We can see that after this full stop, there is no space and the Java is like in a continually manner, it has been printed. When we'll use end, no new lines will be sent as the output and Python will take this as a single argument. As we have seen that print function separates its outputted arguments with spaces, right? So we can change that too. We'll follow how we can change the spacing of our outputs and we can manipulate that. So to change the spacing, we will use SEP. SEP stands for separator. So this is the next keyword argument. This was the first end and this is the second. So how to use separator? I'll write one code, print of my name okay. What I am doing here is I'm giving all the strings the characters individually. I have inserted the characters in a separate quotation. After this, I'm going to use separator, which is SEP, equal sign, use the quotation. Now, in this, we can add anything and whatever we want in between our sentences or in between our argument. So let's print this out and see. For example, I have just puts a space here. Let's see. This is the simplest form which we can get. Now what I'm going to do in this separator, I want a colon. Now let's see what is the answer. You can notice after every single word there is colon inserted in between. I don't want colon. Let's put a star. This is what separator does. Will like without any default will get the outputs like with a space. But if we want that the output should not have spacing in between, it should have some character. So we can put that character and get our output. Now let's use separator as well as end together and see what happens. So I would write print of my comma name comma is comma a separator equal I am going to put a star comma the separator we are going to use end in this end and okay, let's do here star and put a dash here. So the output is going to be separated with a dash. Now the next I would like to print is Monty comma Python full stop comma separating with star. Okay, I hope this is like not a confusing code, a command. Okay, I'm going to run this now. Let's see. Can you see the output? What has been changed is this, the sentence has been separated with a dash because in the separator we have used a dash. So my name is has been separated with this end. And because of this end, this asterisk has been added here. Monty and Python has been separated with this. This was all about the print function. We are going to explore more of print function when we'll do complex functioning and complex commands. So this was all about the basic and the like simplest version of the Python part. So this was all about print. If anybody has any doubt, please ask me. Does anybody has any doubt in this, whatever like we discussed today?
So Anna is saying that why are the inverted commas getting printed?
Uh, okay. Where inverted commas are printed? In the command, if you are asking, where we want that Python should take this as a string or as a character. So that is why whenever we are coding and we are like inputting any character, we'll always have to like uh, code them into this quotation. Whenever you are using any character to give the input, you'll always every time you'll have to use this. Otherwise it is going to like take something else or a number. It can take any input then. So if we want the output as character, we'll have to give that input as character only. And to give that character as input, we'll always have to cover them or use this quotation. Understood, Anna? Why are we using inverted commas getting printed? Why are the inverted commas getting printed? No, no, I was not able to see. Okay, okay, okay. I am the user. I want you to print something. How will you ask me and print via command line? Ask my name. I'm seriously not able to understand the question, Anna.
Mm, a minute. Actually, I lost my connection, so all the messages have been deleted.
No, ma'am.
And
It They are present
oh,
on my screen, ma'am.
okay, okay. Then you can
Yeah,
answer maybe.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Print what is your name? Okay. Okay, you want to store the data. Okay. So for storing the data, as I wrote here, we are going to explore these data structures, right? So what we did here was like simple print function. If we want to store something, like you want to store your name. So for example, I am using x equals to likewise, as we were using print here, we are using this x, which is a variable. X we will use to store any data which we want. Like whenever we would be doing some programming, we would use some like variables, specific variables to store the data. So if we want to store any data, we can use any variable to store that data. For example, I'll use the simple command, which is okay. I'm writing here 10, 10, comma 20, comma 30, comma 40. Okay, this is x and it has our, for example, data, which is 10, 20, 30, and 40. We have these numbers saved in x. What we want is, whenever we'll type x, the output should be whatever data we have stored in x. So what we can do is we can use the print function. So what we want to print here, print is going to give us the output what we want. So what we want is that whenever we will put x anywhere, we should get the output what which we have stored earlier. As you can see, we have stored 10, 20, 30, and 40 in x. So whenever we'll print x, the answer is going to be what we have stored in x, which is 10, 20, 30, and 40. Likewise, if you want to save your name, you can save your name in any variable and then you can get your response. As this was numbers, you can see I have not inserted any quotation in this, because we can write numbers without quotation, but whenever we are going to input any character or like alphabets, we'll have to use the quotes. Otherwise, it is going to show us the error. How to take this data from this user? What if want to give you these numbers? Give the numbers as in, ask the user to input some numbers. Anna, which user? I'm not getting your point actually. We can store them in X, we'll input the numbers, but what? Ask the user what? You are the developer and I am the user. No, I'm not getting your point. You are the developer and I'm the user. Or I think you are just saying how we have to, like, if we want to develop something and somebody has asked us to like input that number in, and then we want to store that. Are you asking like that? Okay, that is a complex programming. So we can like we are definitely going to do that, but we can do that later onwards. Okay. Okay, Anna. Anybody else? At least give it a thumbs up so I can understand that you got my point and I was able to like explain you my points.
Zindu, you are not having any query?
I think nobody has any queries.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe they followed it well. So anything that you have to add, you can add maybe.
No, ma'am, that was it. I wanted to like uh, explore the sprint function, which was like the basic one, so that everybody enjoys learning that. So print function was there. If we like continue, we'll start with data structures and data types and like fetching and everything.
Okay, so what do they need for this? That
Okay, yes.
should they install?
Okay, yes, Anaconda works with Mac. So yeah, it has been loaded. I think I'll have to
And
load this again.
are they able to work offline with this, or they have to do it
No,
online?
they'll have to. It is going to work online only here.
Hmm.
Matlab, whenever we'll launch the Jupyter notebook, it is going to like work with Chrome. So this is the Anaconda. Okay.
Huh.
So now you'll just have to scroll down and you can see.
Nothing is visible, Diksha. We cannot see your screen.
Okay.
So you
Let's try.
mean that whether we download and install or we do not, it doesn't matter, right?
Uh, Install, ma'am, what?
Means do they need to install or they can do it online?
Yeah, you can use PyCharm as well if you're using PyCharm.
Yeah.
Ma'am, they'll have to install Anaconda. It is the wrapper. So they'll have to install Anaconda, and that will allow them to like use Jupyter Notebook where we will perform Python.
Okay.
Yeah. So everybody, you will have to like search on Google Anaconda for Windows, Mac, anything. You will get. You can open this individual edition of Anaconda. You'll have to scroll down and you can install whatever version you are having or using, Linux, like Mac, Windows, whatever operating system you are using, you can install from here. After installing, you will get this screen like this. Okay, I'll just, yeah. After installing, you'll get this environment and then you'll have to launch Jupyter here. Jupyter Notebook, not lab. This is for machine learning basically. So you'll have to launch this Jupyter Notebook and this will open into Chrome. So this is like you can see this window. As this will open in Chrome, from new you can select Python 3 and then the environment is going to open where you can code.
So this notebook you're talking about, Jupyter, is just like a editor for writing the code, or is it something more than that, or is like I can write a code in some my notepad file and also run, right? So
Yeah. You can run here and you can download the files in whatever like extension or file you want. You can see here HTML, RST, TEX, TXT, HTML. You can get the output from file. Like whenever you are done performing your programming, you can download the file in whatever like file formats you want to download. But right now we have open Python 3. If you want that in Anaconda, you want to like perform R programming. So whenever you will install, I think you will not get R Studio here. I did install R Studio here, so here you can perform R programming as well. And there are a lot of like would say platforms which you can run in Anaconda Navigator. So you can download that.
Okay. So I hope all the queries have been answered. Uh, Partha or Hindu, you want to ask anything?
No, I'm fine.
Yeah, yeah. Just give me 1 minute. I'll get back to you. Okay. So I think they are all satisfied with what you showed. So uh, maybe, yeah, all of you can leave if you are okay. Then I have to talk to Anna. Sorry, not Anna, Diksha. Yeah.
Ma'am, I have a question to
Yeah,
you
yeah, sure,
actually.
sure. Go ahead.
This whatever the session that Diksha has conducted now is not part of the
What are
regular
you saying?
sessions, right?
What are you saying? What?
No, we are having some other regular sessions. For,
Yeah, yeah, that will be there already at 4 you have today, I think, right?
okay, so this also we will have
Uh,
sessions coming up, or this is the only
uh,
session?
and that I will organize for you. I'll let you know, okay? Uh, yeah. So we meet at 4 as usual, okay?